I see you have returned to the Into the Multiverse series, a series of fan fictions generated by an AI with my personal input on the plot. Hello, and welcome back. In this series, we have experimented and meticulously seen a variety of things, such as what would happen if Darth Krayt was born as the Sith Ari rather than Bane, what would happen if Darth Nihilus killed Darth Revan and became ruler of the galaxy, and most recently, the Dark Underlords are rising as the most powerful Sith spirit in the galaxy besides Lord Nihilus. Today, we are going to continue this trend, and we are going to be experimenting with many more meticulous things. This series is going to go on for a few more episodes. I'm just warning you, we are just over the halfway point for this series, so prepare as we near the end of this monumental series that no other YouTuber has ever done before on this monumental scale. So, join us as we venture around the galaxy, explore the world between worlds, and analyze what would have happened had these scenarios taken place, and let us explore this next course of events in the Into the Multiverse series. So, let us proceed into episode 7 of this incredible series, personally generated by an AI with my own little spin on the plot. Let us proceed as we explore this incredible, phenomenal series that has been completely generated by an AI with my own spin. The fields of Darth Nihilus' worlds lay desolate and barren, a testament to the Dark Lord's insatiable hunger for the Force. The once lush and verdant landscape was now a barren wasteland, every living thing consumed by the Dark Lord's power. Nihilus, Emperor of the Galaxy and the Sith, stood atop a rise, overlooking the devastation he had wrought, his gaze fixed upon his new apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, pondering the various destructions his master had just wreaked before his very eyes. The young Padawan was just 12 years old, but he had already shown immense potential in the Force. Nihilus was well aware of the prophecy of the Son of Suns, a perfect entity and a virgin to the Force with a Force potential that would eventually even surpass his own. He couldn't help but wonder if Anakin was the one destined to fulfill this prophecy and become the ultimate omnipotent god of the galaxy, unrivaling some of beings of prophecy like the Father of Shadows and the Supreme Maker. The Dark Lord sighed, his mind filled with memories of the countless worlds he had destroyed in order to feed his power. He could feel the emptiness of his soul, an emptiness that only the Force could fill. But now, even entire star systems were not great enough to satiate his immense hunger. Nihilus knew he needed something more, something greater, in order to achieve ultimate and complete dominance over the Force. The Force was now his property, and he was the Force's. As he stood there, contemplating his next move, Nihilus could feel Anakin's presence growing stronger by the day. The young Padawan was learning quickly, his mastery of the Force increasing with each passing moment despite being trained from quite an old age. Nihilus couldn't help but think that if he were to die, Anakin would be a worthy successor to take over his empire, one who could carry on his legacy and hone his immense prowess in the Force. The Dark Lord turned to face his apprentice, his eyes blazing with a fiery intensity within his void black mask.
"Anakin,"
he said, his voice ringing with authority.
"Do you know why I've brought you here?"
Anakin nodded, his eyes fixed upon his master. "Yes, my lord," he said. "You wish to groom and hone my skills in the Force, to make me a worthy successor to your legacy." Nihilus smiled bleakly, his lips curling into a sinister grin beneath the confines of his bone-white mask.
"Yes, Anakin," he said, "but that is not the only reason. You are the key to fulfilling the prophecy of the Son of Suns. I have seen it in your eyes, in your actions, in your latent potential with the Force. You are the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker, and it is up to us to make you the ultimate being the galaxy will see."
Anakin's eyes widened in wonder. He took his master's words in. He felt a sense of pride and purpose expand within him like a supernova, knowing he was destined to bring an pure bring of galaxy and darkness into the galaxy. "I will not disappoint you, my lord," he said, his voice filled with determination. "I will become the ultimate being in the galaxy, surpassing all mortal comprehension, even the lights of Wutsek, the Force demon, and the Bedlam spirits." Nihilus' smile broadened as he felt a sense of pride in his young apprentice.
"That is the spirit, Anakin," he said. "Together we will bring the galaxy to its knees and rule as gods. The Force will be our servant, and we will have mastery over all.
With these 2 words, the two turned there and walked back to the Sith, ready to embark on their quest for ultimate power, and to feed and satiate Nihilus' power. Darth Nihilus, the Dark Lord and Emperor of the Galaxy, stood in the fields of his world, observing his new apprentice Anakin Skywalker. The boy speculated to be the chosen one with the Force potential that it could eventually surpass Nihilus' own. Nihilus pondered this prophecy of the Son of Suns, a depiction of a perfect Force-imbued being.
"Come with me, Nun One,"
Nihilus smoked, uttering ancient Sith speak. In an instant, they were teleported to the desolate world of Malachor 5. Nihilus began to describe the Mandalorian Wars, a crusade that had seen a Jedi rebellion led by both Revan and Malak. He said how the tactics of Revan had led to the Mandalorians' final defeat at the climactic Battle of Malachor 5, and how Revan had used his prowess in combat to duel and defeat Mandalore the Ultimate.
"But that was not the end,"
Nihilus continued.
"The Jedi exile, Mitra Sulik, set off the mass shadow generator, causing a massive wound in the Force to encompass the planet. And from that wound, I was born."
He explained how he had an eternal need to feed and devour those ripe with Force energy, and minutes after awakening on Malachor, he had killed 3 survivors with his Force drain ability. Anakin inquired about the fate of Revan and Mitra Surik, to which Nihilus replied,
"They were clearly great and proficient warriors, leading brutal crusades and subjugating the galaxy. But I slaughtered them right here, killing Revan in a Force clash, and overcoming the Jedi exile and my traitorous apprentice."
Nihilus scowled at Anakin as he warned,
"You would be wise not to make the same mistakes as Visas Ma. I effortlessly decimated her. I am so much more now than I was when I took the lives of those great heroes."
The darkness surrounding them seemed to swell and intensify, as if in response to Nihilus' words. Anakin could feel the immense power radiating from the Dark Lord, and he knew that he was a presence of true evil. But he was also filled with a sense of awe and fear, as he realized he was standing between the greatest Force user the galaxy had ever seen. Dark Lord is an incredibly powerful title. Dark Lord will give you the power to live. The scene suddenly switches. The fields of one of the Dark Lord's many worlds faded away as the scenery suddenly shifted to the desolate planet of Korriban. Here, 2 imposing figures hovered over the tomb of ancient Dark Lord Marco Ragnos. The first was the Dark Underlord, a being shrouded in mysticism, crypticness, darkness, and fear. His power in the Force immense and nigh godly, and feared throughout the galaxy, as a demon who had been summoned from the depths of chaos. The second was Darth Krayt, the newly appointed acolyte and prophesied Sith Ari, and powerful Dark Lord, who was undergoing training under the watchful eyes of the Dark Underlord and Marco Ragnos. The tomb of Marco Ragnos was an imposing structure, with tall pillars and walls made of dark, rough stone. It was said the ancient Sith Lord's spirit still lingered within, waiting for someone worthy enough to claim his power and take on his mantle as the true ruler of the Sith. The training grounds surrounding the tomb were dotted with the skeletons of fallen Jedi and Sith, a testament to the harsh training that Darth Krayt was forced to endure. The Dark Underlord surveyed the training grounds with a critical eye, speaking in a deep, menacing voice.
"Darth Krayt, your training must be harsh and unforgiving if you are to reach the level of power required to overthrow Nihilus and rule the galaxy."
Darth Krayt, his features obscured by a hood and mask, replied in a voice that was equal parts determination and fear. "I understand, my lord. I am ready for whatever challenges you may present." The Dark Underlord let out a deep, rumbling laugh.
"Good, for the galaxy is a harsh place, and those who not to possess the strength to survive will be crushed underfoot."
He gestured to the skeletons surrounding them, his voice cold and calculative.
"Those who have come before you, including those who have trained under Lord Lagnos himself, have all fallen short. Do not replicate their mistakes."
Darth Krayt stood firm, his hand on the hilt of his lightsaber. "I will not fail, my lord. I will rise to the top and claim my place as true ruler of the galaxy." The Dark Underlord nodded, his voice filled with a hint of approval and satisfaction.
"Then let us begin. Show me what you have learned so far."
And with that, the training began. The Dark Underlord unleashed wave after wave of dark energy at Krayt, pushing him to the very brink of his abilities and beyond. The force was intense, and the ground shook as the 2 beings clashed, the power and the force causing ripples that could be felt across the entire planet. The training lasted for hours, vigorous and vivacious, until finally the Underlord stepped back, his breathing ragged.
You have done well, Darth Krayt. You have the potential to become a true leader among the Sith. But remember, your training is not yet complete. You must continue to hone your skills, abilities, and master the dark side of the Force if you are to succeed.
Darth Krayt nodded, his chest heaving with the effort of the training. I will not rest until I am the most powerful Dark Lord in the galaxy. The Dark Underlord chuckled, his eyes gleaming with approval.
Good. Now go. Let the galaxy tremble at your feet under Ragnos.
And with that, he vanished, leaving Krayt to ponder his next steps to the path of ultimate power. Dark Lord Marco Ragnos floated effortlessly beside Krayt as they both overlooked the desolate landscape of Korriban, his shadowy apparition billowing darkside energy. The power of the dark side radiated from them both like in thick, dense waves, the caves flapping ominously in the wind. Your power is growing, Lord Krayt, Ragnar spoke, his voice rumbling with authority. It's time for you to prove yourself. Darth Krayt stood tall, his piercing yellow eyes meeting Ragnar's gaze. Not just any predator or Sith-spawn on Korriban would survive for a Dark Lord of my caliber, he replied confidently. Ragnar stared, a malicious grin spreading across his face. Then I have the perfect test for you. Bring me the corpse of the Talentatek within the bowels of the tomb of Tulak Horde, he commanded. Krayt nodded, his resolve firm. I will not disappoint you, my lord, he stated, before turning and marching towards the entrance of the tomb, the power of the dark side surrounding and encompassing him as he prepared to face the challenge that lay ahead. Ragnos gazed and watched his acolyte disappear into the abyss, his mind already plotting his next move in the grand scheme of the galaxy. With a flick of his wrist, he levitated back to the position overlooking the training grounds, his thought consumed by the power he so desperately craved. Now, the scene shifts. As Anakin Skywalker ran through the black forest of Malachor 5, he was consumed by the power of the dark side. The only reason he had survived on this desolate planet was due to the unwavering connection and energies it provided and flowed through him. He pushed his way through the dense trees, their mummified appearance a testament to the evil that surrounded him. Finally, he broke through the forest and found himself standing in front of a large, dense summoning circle. He knew he'd have to use the Force better than he ever had before, more masterful than ever if he hoped to survive this trial. He was 16 now, and failure was not an option. He reached into his backpack and retrieved a collection of Sith law books, scrolls, and crumbling stone tablets with ancient Sith spawn engravements. He opened one of the books, its pages filled with ancient incantations and powerful spells. Anakin began to recite the incantation, his voice echoing through the silent forest. As he spoke, the energy within this summoning circle began to swirl and pulse with a sinister, simmering energy. Suddenly, a wraith-like figure appeared before him, its appearance as the long-dead Sith Lord, Darth Endedu. Anakin stood frozen in his awe as he gazed up upon the ghostly apparition entombed within the mortal shell. Endedu was known for his immense power and cunning, and Anakin was determined to learn everything he could from the ancient Sith Lord. Well, until his trial was complete. The dark aura surrounding Endedu was palpable, and Anakin could feel the strength of the dark side within him grow stronger with each passing moment.
Welcome, young one,
Endedu spoke, his voice a ghostly whisper.
You have come seeking knowledge and power, and I in turn will impact you upon all that you know.
Anakin was filled with excitement and intensity, knowing he was about to learn from one of the greatest and wisest Sith magicians to ever live. He was determined to prove himself worthy of Endedu's teachings, and to become a true master of the dark side. Well, at least until he had completed his trials. He feigned weakness and interest in Endedu's teachings. Teaching me, Lord Endedu, Anakin spoke, his voice filled with a fake reverence. I am eager to learn from your wisdom and to become a true Sith Lord. Endedu nodded, a hint of a smile appearing on his ghastly appearance.
You have made the right choice, young one. The path of the Sith is one of power, but it is also of the sacrifice and discipline. Are you ready to make that sacrifice? Are you ready to embrace the power of the dark side?
Anakin nodded, his eyes blazing with a fake determination. Yes, I am ready. I will do whatever it takes to become the strongest Sith Lord the galaxy has ever known. Endedu's ghostly form began to fade, but his voice lingered. Then let us begin, young one. Your journey to power starts now. Anakin Skywalker, now known as Vader, stood firmly with his lightsaber ignited. His trials were complete, and Endedu had to be dispersed, banished back into chaos. Ready to defend himself against any deception from the spirit of Endedu, as he delved deeper into the dark side, he had learned to be cautious and always on guard for sign of manipulation and trickery. You seek to deceive me, Endedu. Your illusions will not sway me, Vader spoke with a menacing tone. Endedu let out a sigh, as if he were defeated with Vader's insight into his treachery. So it seems you have grown in your mastery of the darkness, young one. But do not be so quick to judge. I have much to offer you in your path towards ultimate power. Vader was unyielding, unrivaled. I am already under tutelage of Dark Nihilus. I have no need for another master, especially not a pathetic coward like you. Endedu chuckled, a hint of a scowl toying with his mouth, his voice echoing through the summoning circle. Nihilus may be powerful, but he's also consumed by his hunger. It is a liability, a weakness that will ultimately lead to his downfall. I, on the other hand, have honed my abilities to reach a level of mastery that he could only dream of. Vader was wary, but his thirst for knowledge and power was overwhelming. What is it you have to offer then? Endedu's illusion flickered, revealing his true form as a rotting corpse. I can offer you knowledge and techniques that Nihilus does not possess. My holocron and various rituals can help you reach new heights of power beyond even the likes of Nihilus. Liar! Anakin spat. The atmosphere was thick with tension as the two powerful beings stood facing one another, each trying to sway the other to their side. In this moment, Vader realized the path of the dark side was one filled with treachery, and he would have to betray his own teacher, both of them. Darth Vader stood amidst the death summoning circle. Suddenly, Vader realized that Endedu was using a force illusion, propagating a death of final battle. He had various rituals to persuade him to become his apprentice, using enchantments. Instead of serving under Nihilus, Vader drew his lightsaber, its deathly crimson color reflecting the darkness in his heart, and prepared for battle. Endedu, his mummified form, stood tall as he wielded his kyber crystal sword, striking at Vader with tendrils of blue force lightning. Vader countered with his red lightsaber, deflecting each tendril as he began to use the force to his advantage. Endedu growled, sensing the chosen one's power. With a flick of his wrist, Vader used telekinesis to wrench down fire, raining down upon Endedu and using pyrokinesis to amplify the flames to devastating heights. Endedu, unfazed, raised his hand and unleashed a barrage of illusions, bombarding Vader with visions of the future under Nihilus and his time as Endedu's apprentice. Despite being overwhelmed, Vader refused to be swayed and instead drew upon his raw connection to the Force, using it to fuel his strength and break through Endedu's illusions. He collapsed to the floor, struggling against the Sith Lord's mental assault, but refused to surrender. He would never surrender. With a fierce determination, Vader ascended to his feet and unleashed a barrage of red force lightning, crimson like blood, lashing out at Endedu as he closed in for the kill. Endedu, though not dead, was forced to retreat, using his alchemical and sorcerer's power to heal himself and regain his physical form. The final showdown was a brutal duel between the two powerful Sith Lords. They clashed blades, exchanged blows as their lightsabers sparked and flared with tendrils of energy. Endedu attempted to use life drain and force lightning, but Vader countered with his own telekinetic abilities and raw connection to the Force, using it to augment his strength and best Endedu. In the end, Vader emerged victorious, his crimson lightsaber held high as he stood over the defeated Endedu. With a deep breath, he declared, "You are no match for the power of the dark side." And with that, Endedu's neck snapped as Vader crunched it to death. Nihilus suddenly appeared from the sky, his black coat billowing in the wind. He looked down at Anakin with a mixture of curiosity and amusement.
Anakin, you have proven yourself to be a powerful warrior, defeating even the ancient Sith spectres.
Nihilus paused for a moment, then continued.
But there is a new mission for you. Rumors have reached us of a new Sith, one who seeks to challenge us from our power. Recently, we received a communications link coordinates on Korriban, ancient homeworld of the Sith. Allow me to play it for you.
Nihilus activated the hologram, and a figure shrouded in a cloak with twin spikes protruding from his shoulder plates appeared. The voice was cold, calculating, and filled with malice, as well as commanding force in a way that Nihilus seemed to be fearful of. "Nihilus, Lord of all Sith, You have disgraced the line of the dark side. You have discarded the teachings of the ancient masters, the knowledge of Maka Ragnos, for the last time. I am coming for you, your throne, your power. I will erase you from the pages of history. Your nexus will be nothing more than a memory. Your holocron I will destroy effortlessly. Your fleet, everything. There will be nothing left. Anakin was taken aback by the message. He gazed up at Niles with a mix of fear and confusion. Who is this? Why are they threatening us? We rule the galaxy. The voice continued. Treachery is the way of the Sith. I am on Colaban, in the Valley of the Dark Lords. Come to face me if you dare. I will be waiting in the tombs of the Dark Lords who preceded us. Come to face the Sith Ari. Nihilus looked down at Anakin with a sneer.
Well, it seems we have a threat to our power. Anakin, are you ready to face this new threat?
So, my acolytes, what did you think of this video? This was quite a long one, especially for the Into the Multiverse series. But honestly, did you personally enjoy this? Did you enjoy this ultimate turn of events? And are you excited to see one of the most climactic battles in all of history between two of the most prominent Dark Lords in the Into the Multiverse series? The two Dark Lords, Darth Nihilus and the Sith Ari. But who could this Sith Ari be? Let us proceed. So, my friend, I'll see you next week where we continue this story and explore what would happen if Darth Krayt and Darth Nihilus had their showdown on Korriban.